He said you need good whiskey in your life. Yeah, you need good whiskey.
Hi, it's Mark here from Whisky Watch, and it's Whisky Wednesday. If you missed last week's episode, then here it is again for you to watch at your leisure on YouTube. So enjoy the Appleton Arms. Hello everyone, just another minute or so and then we'll get going. Just me quick sound check and all that. Let me know that everything's alright. See you shortly. It's Whisky Wednesday. It's 6 PM. We're broadcasting live from the Appleton Arms for you this week on Whisky Watch. So all the best to you. I've got my whiskey. Hope you've got a whiskey with you. Here we are at the glorious Appleton Arms. We're having a Whisky Wednesday. As you can see, a little bit of a nondescript shed going on here, but that's actually the whole idea. So you can see it's a little bit tattered, needs a little bit of paint, but that's why, because the secret is inside. So I need you to join me on our Quarren stream, we're calling it, while everybody's at home. Hope everybody's safe and well, doing what you need to do. We're in the garden here, and this is my pub shed. So let's go in. If you're inclined, if you look at the bottom of your screen, you see a share button. So if you press that share button, you can get all your friends to join the broadcast, and that'll be fabulous, won't it? So Slanjavar, good health to you all. And let's enter the Appleton Arms. So here we are, inside the Appleton Arms. Just a little bit of a few technical hitches probably now and again. Here we are. I don't know about the light, hopefully you can see me. Here I am behind the bar. This is all handmade by myself and my brothers. All did little bits together. I'll tell you about Colin in a little while. He was the brains behind the scene and I was Captain Chaos. But you see, handmade back bar. It's got lots and lots of whiskies. Single malt whiskies mostly, got the odd blended whiskey. I've got a very, very tiny bourbon gift set, and that's about the only bourbon I've got. But I do have some foreign whiskies, so Indian, Japanese, Canadian, Irish, Welsh and English. Not that foreign, but you see what I mean. So yeah, lots and lots of whiskies in here. If you didn't know, I'm started during this coronavirus lockdown period. I've started an A to Z of the whiskies that I've got in here, and I'm still on the letter A. I'm about 7 in and I'm still on the letter A, so blimey, I don't know how long it's going to take to get through this this selection, but anyway, we'll see how we get on. And to be honest, if I can find a Q or a Z in my A to Z of whiskies, I'm doing really well, aren't I? So yeah, what's the backstory? Well, the backstory to the Appleton Arms is that I grew up in pubs, and my dad had 5 different pubs, and one of them I'll show you, there's a picture of it a little bit later, all around the St Helens area and one out towards Wigan and Bolton way. So I always had an interest in pubs, and if you look around, it's a sort of, what do they call it, breweryania or brewerana or something. And for me, the theme is Greenhalls, because I grew up in Greenhall Whitley pubs from being 9 through to my 20s, and as I say, my dad had 5 Greenhall Whitley pubs. So basically, you'll see the little Greenhalls logo all over the place in this pub, because it reminds me of being young, having great times living in the pub. You can imagine how popular it was at school holiday times and on the weekend in those days when the pubs used to close.
I wish I was in green old Whitley land, where beer is cool and hearts are warm, the friends all gathered round. Perhaps you think of me as I think of you, the jokes, the warmth, the fun, the girl behind the bar. But most of all, green old Whitley, most of all, I'm missing you. Someday I'm going back to the place I know so well. I wish
So I wanted a pub after a friend of mine had a pub shed, and I thought, oh, that's a good idea, quite like a pub shed. So that's a little bit of a backstory to why I built this thing. Didn't actually build the shed itself, but all of the inside is down to me and my brothers, basically. So you can see, all the usual accoutrement for the pub. So real pumps. This is a real ale pump. There's just nothing connected right now, but I have had casks of different ales on there in the past. And then this is a two pump, I forget what you call it, but this is draft beer. So again, I've got all the cooler and all the pipes and all the lines, and you can connect a keg, a Guinness, lager, bitter, whatever you want. And I have connected beer to there in the past. Part of the problem is it's 8 gallons for a normal keg, and that's a lot of pints, isn't it, to get through? So lasts about 3 weeks, but you do need a few parties if you want a real experience of real beer. But it's here, it's available. Got the pump lights, look. If anybody needs any pork scratchings or peanuts, got those for you as well if you come on down, although I suspect the age on those is getting on a little bit, actually. So yeah, pump lights, still got bits and bobs to do. Here I am drinking my Cardew Speyside Gold, or is it Cardew Gold Reserve? Very nice little dram for a Whiskey Wednesday, so I'm enjoying that as we go through this bit of a programme. The other thing is, if I can find it, why did this all come about? Well, I kept this, and in one of the newspapers, behind me, the Daily Express, 2012, there's an article about just popping down to the shed for a pint, and that caught my attention, and I thought, what a great idea, a pub shed. And that was really the seed of an idea, to have a pub shed. So I've kept that, funnily enough, and this was introduced me to the Shed of the Year competition. Now, I don't know whether you've ever seen the Shed of the Year competition on TV, but here we are. Look, here's my little Shed of the Year mug that I got from the programme when I was on that. And if you're ever bored and want to watch it, look at Channel 4 on demand. I think it may still be there. Shed of the Year, Season 1, Episode 3. That's where I am now. It did finish, I think, last year. I think they had 4 seasons of it, so I wouldn't be surprised if season 1's gone. But I've got it on disc anyway, so I must download that sometime. I'll put that on the Whisky Watch website. So if you go to whiskywatch.uk, that's the website, and hopefully you'll find some information there. Lots of blogs, YouTube as well, and Instagram. YouTube, I've started to upload the A to Z of whiskies. So have a look at that. I'm about 7 in with the different A's, Arran, Aberlour, Aberfeldy, different whiskies like that. Just what I've got here. I'm not saying I've got every one, but I've got a little chart, and I'm slowly checking them off as I go through them. So have a look at the website. I have actually got a couple of prizes to give away, so I don't know, let's see if we get to 100 viewers or not. But I've got a little Talisker hip flask that I'm happy to give away this evening, so let's see how we get on with that. And really, the star prize this evening, are you ready? Drum roll. It's a bog roll. So if anybody's going short and through these difficult times, and I know I make a bit light-hearted of it, it's very, very serious. Another, was it 400 died today or something? So very serious. But here we are, all at home. I'm at home in one of the few remaining pubs that's still open, because it's mine. But I don't sell it. I don't sell drink, so that's why I'm allowed to do what I do. Lots and lots of pub sheds out there. If you've got one or you know one, drop me a note and let me know. I can't see any comments at the minute, and hopefully we'll get a few as we go through this. Won't bore you for too long this evening. Hopefully you saw the St Patrick's Day episode as well, when I was at Centre Parks a couple of weeks ago, and that's on YouTube if you want to have a quick look at that Paddy's Day special. Right, so I think what we'll do, I've given you all the backstop really. The other reason, of course, was the sheer volume of bottles of whiskey that I ended up with. Not that I'm a collector, I like to open them and share them with friends and family, but it was getting too big for the house, so that was another reason why I moved into the pub shed and the Appleton Arms. That's kind of where it came from really. Right, let me show you the snug. So just pop round, yeah. We'll go past the whiskey wall, I'll come to that shortly. There's no Ina Sharples in this snug, or Bobby the cat. If you don't know who that is, ask your mum, she'll tell you. Yeah, so I'll let me just sit in here, come through. We've got the bar Skittles especially out. Occasionally play that. Lots and lots of games. Bit of a gaming corner. This. What I can tell you about the Snug is this seating was thrown away from one of my dad's old pubs, so it was a real rare find. You know, it was the Rifle Corps that we used to live in many years ago in the 80s. I drove past one day when I was building this, kitting it out, and lo and behold, there was this huge long section of seating, and I thought, oh, have I got a use for that? So me and my brother sort of reconstructed it, built the Snug, reupholstered it and stuff. Needs another go, actually. So if you know anybody out there, when all this dies down, I'm happy to get somebody in and reupholster this. I think it needs doing. And these screens came from a local pub called the Appleton Arms. So good evening, the Gerard, if you're watching. I know they have a website and stuff. And they very kindly gave me these a few years ago. And it is a few years ago. I was thinking before, on the shelf there, we normally have a projector and there's a pull-down screen there. And I remembered the other day that it was back in 2012, just after I'd opened this, when we all sat down and watched Mo Farah in the 2012 Olympics. And we saw him win both goals in here, shouting our heads off, having a great time, having a drink. So yeah, the Snug, really great area for family and friends, and for playing games like bar billiards. That's not very good. Right, well, we've got dominoes, playing cards, you name it. Got a bit of a memorabilia shelf going on here. You know, a microphone from my hospital radio days, not off. And, you know, my golf friends, there's John Abbott there on the shelf. And, you know, Titanic, for some reason, somebody bought a real McCoy Titanic whistle made from the original machine. And it works. Come about. So yeah, lots of things that mean things to me, really. Sorry, just a second. Sorry, everybody. Yank my wire. That's it. About that. Yeah, lots of books and bric-a-brac and memorabilia. Lots of green, all those things I remember from my days. The 50 Shades of Grey I do like, actually. I can't remember who bought me this book, 50 Shades of Grey, but I'll just read you from the back. Hurt me, she begged, raising her skirt as she bent over the workbench. Very about that. Yeah, lots of books and bric-a-brac and memorabilia. Lots of green, all those things I remember from my days. The 50 Shades of Grey I do like, actually. I can't remember who bought me this book, 50 Shades of Grey, but I'll just read you from the back. Hurt me, she begged, raising her skirt as she bent over the workbench. Very well, I replied. You've got fat ankles and no dress sense. How about that? So that's an interesting. And then there's 3 in a Shed. I don't think I've read that one, actually. And when the TV came to film, they made me take those down because they said it was advertising and I couldn't do it. Right, so anyway, here's the Snug. I'm going to have another little quick dram.